right? The man with the hood on representing the night. He is the one, the only.
Kurt Flirt, baby.
In the building. And of course, to his right, man, it don't get no fresher when fresh is fresh. I mean, when you can hold up a piece of bread and you take it out that loaf and it's all soft and smushy still. It is truly, what is it, man?
Fresh.
In the building. That's what's good. And of course, last but not least, the all natural. Not Claral. Claral. Whatever you want to say.
Like that.
The black beauty herself.
This would be Sapphire. Hello, everyone.
That's what's good. Welcome to the Live and Vocal Show, everybody.
I gotta hear Sapphire sing.
Me too. I've been dying to hear that.
With that deep voice, you know.
You gonna get her Aretha Franklin on?
Yeah, I don't feel about that too sad.
What's your range? Like a Anita Baker?
I would give him more of that. Yeah, it's kind of got like a little.
So you gonna do your thing one night, right?
One night.
Okay.
I'll do a little something for y'all. I'll be in here like woo woo woo.
She gonna be out there tomorrow. Ooh, yeah.
Man, I'm terrified. I ain't even gonna say nothing. But you know what? I'm glad you can sing, Zach. I can't sing a lick.
I've been telling him that he can't get with me.
I'm horrible.
There's plenty of people who are out there who can't sing, who can still have record labels.
Anybody
you
can
could
get
be
a record
the male
deal.
Mary J. Blige.
Wow.
That's not nice. Mary, my girl, she go ham. When she hurt, she can sing.
Mary.
Oh man.
She
can give her a good bad relationship, and she gonna put an album out.
She does a great job in the studio.
Go diamond.
She connects with her folks.
In the studio, huh? You terrible.
She does. I mean, live, she may be like a little
pitchy.
A little bit.
Y'all terrible.
Not now, though. Like
Kelly
back
Rowland.
in the day.
We ain't gonna talk about R&B because I go ham. Minus the pork.
No, she definitely still can be a little suspicious. She can wreck it though for a Burger King crispy wrap commercial. She gonna
terrible. She was hungry that day.
The question is, did anybody go to Burger King after that?
I did have to try a crispy wrap. I'll actually admit.
How long did that commercial run?
It never ran.
I just say no to fast food as much as possible.
It never ran because of all the hype that it got. Well, all the negative.
I got some McDonald's coupons at my house right now. In my bag, right?
Get off of your focus, man. Focus. Anyway, because of all the negative attention the commercial got, it never actually aired. Once they leaked it and people saw it on YouTube and just talked about it to the point they did.
Well, you know
she
what?
still got $2 million
So
though.
why did they say? Why was it negative? Because Mary J did it, and it was what they say was ghetto.
No, because it was a black woman singing real tough about some chicken.
Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because it was ghetto. Yeah, because it was a stereotypical.
Well,
okay.
I'm saying the lady from Louisiana, she be going in about Popeyes.
Hello.
Yeah, but at least they make her look like she owns it, even though not one African American actually owns a Popeyes
really?
franchise.
They don't make that much money, I don't think. Probably.
They make a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
But they make her at least look like she runs the place.
I know one African American woman that owns 4 or 5 McDonald's though in Plainfield and in the bordering areas.
But she's not up there like with the dance talking about the Popeyes chicken.
Now listen.
Yes, sir, boss.
That being said,
Otisa.
Yes, sir.
We have a lot to talk about tonight.
A lot.
We do.
We're gonna go in on a great topic and basically have a potpourri. So if someone, matter of fact, let's go to the man who wrote it up tonight.
Did you say potpourri?
It's a little funny when you say potpourri.
Yeah, we gotta
that
change.
means a little bit of everything.
Oh, I was like potpourri. That's I had to potpourri.
So Fresh, why don't you let everybody know what we talking about tonight, my
We're
brother?
basically talking about the world and how it is today. Is emotion taking over the whole world? Like, is everything about emotion? Whether it's the government shutdown, whether it's the motorcycle incident that occurred, or the lady who was fatally injured and shot at in D.C. Was it all on emotion?
It's incredible too, because there's a lot of news that's going on, and we also have a special guest tonight,
Cedric Yao from brand new off-Broadway play.
I'm looking forward to definitely talking.
Great play.
He'll be calling in, and we'll be talking to him tonight. And then, of course, we got you guys. You guys can call and chime in with us any point of the conversation. Talk about what's going on in this world. You can call in. Our calling number is 646-233-1302. That's 646-233-1302.
02.
And give yourself a name in the chat. Give you some original name. Come up with a name like Fresh or Kurt Flirt.
Like Kurt Flirt's people.
Or Soups. Come up with something original like Sapphire or Chill. Put your name in the chat. Become part of this.
Be Big Butter Biscuit.
Join the movement.
Big Butter Bean.
We had somebody named
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
what was his name? Pork Rind. Pork Rind?
No, it was something
Pork
else.
juice.
Pork juice. Yeah, that dude was official.
That was it. I was feeling that. That's what's up. So give yourself a name in
Oh,
chat.
and we had the manager.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember the manager.
And then Bubbles was up in there, you know.
Oh.
Did you get Bubbles that shirt?
No, I didn't. You know, and Bubbles hit me up, and actually, we're gonna have her coming up pretty soon, man. She's got an interesting story.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about that too later. But right now, man, let's dive in. And our guest will be calling in, and he'll be calling in pretty soon. As soon as he calls in, we'll jump into his aspect of the show, and then we'll get back to it. First thing, let's talk about what we was talking about off air. And
Which
Seth,
one?
I'll lead you into that. The incident with the motorcycle guy who got ran over.
Okay, you know, there was a lot of talk about this the past week because there was confusion about what took place. But if you watch the video, there's a large group of bikers that are in 3 lanes of a highway. Behind one of the bikers, there's a Range Rover. I cannot tell whether the bike, it doesn't look like the biker slowed down, but even if they did, the Range Rover then hits him. He consequently,
Consequently.
Yes.
runs into the back of the biker. So the rest of the bikers stop and they go to address. Now, nobody pulled out any weapons or anything. They just went over. Nobody had anything. They weren't attacking the truck. A couple people walked over to it because obviously you want to know if your friend's okay.
Yes.
And then the truck driver, takes his Range Rover and then runs over 2 other bikers, paralyzing one permanently.
Now, see, already from what we've seen there, and once again, callers, you can call in 646-233-1302 and chime in on this. The thing that was amazing to me, which I didn't know, and I'm gonna be fair to everybody, I just found this out tonight from watching the video that Sav. I thought that they were making an attempt to. I knew he bumped into somebody, but I didn't think he ran over him. So, do you think maybe the driver was scared for a moment?
Well, I will say because he is foreign,
Asian.
In the picture, he looked drunk. That's all I know.
Well,
really?
In the picture with him and his woman, he looks like he's drunk, so he might be an alcoholic. I don't know.
He may have
Allegedly.
gone through some things,
Yeah,
but
possibly.
he is foreign, so maybe he's not accustomed to how things.
To driving on the right side of the road.
Well,
So
it
where
wasn't about the
exactly
right
was this
side,
at? Was it
but-
Cali?
It's New
No,
York.
this was in New York.
Right in New York.
Terrible.
Wow.
So
Lucky is he still alive?
he
Oh, yeah.
He's
once
lucky
he
he
ran
lived.
over a couple people, then obviously the rest of the bike crew then followed him because he had a hit and run go down. And I feel like they were probably, you probably were scared, but you just hit one of their homeboys. Like, I'm going to need you to stop, call 911, tell them if you feel afraid for your life.
Yeah,
You're in a truck, so you didn't have to then run over and paralyze somebody else and run over a third person. Like, you don't keep running over people because you're worried about the first one that you already hit.
What was you gonna say, Fresh?
This whole incident only occurred because a person couldn't react the right way. And the crazy thing about this whole situation is that the guy in the Range Rover was never charged, never brought in for questioning.
Find out.
And this is why it's amazing, because if you are in danger for your life, the first thing you do is call the police.
Good point.
Especially in broad daylight.
In broad daylight, on a main city highway, you stop the car, pull to the side, call the police. Could he have said there was no other cars around? We obviously seen cars in the video other around. So for him to take the actions that he did, it doesn't justify what the cause was.
But I'm thinking here, and I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be real honest, and as my mantra says, I'm gonna keep it real. If I was in a vehicle and I was threatened, I might have done it. Now the question is, what do you consider threatened?
Just because some brothers on a
Now,
bike walk
listen,
over to you.
let's be honest. I'm keeping it real. In that video, that was a entourage of bikes. There was probably at least would you say 10 to 20 bikes?
No, it was more
That's
than
more
10.
20.
It was like
So,
30 to 40.
Come
but
on, y'all. How many of us? What's that TV show you watch on? It comes on. It's all about bikers now.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, Anarchy.
Yeah, they
Come
serious.
on, and motorcycle gangs. I'm gonna keep it funky. Listen,
They don't play no games.
motorcycle gangs is just as thorough as the Bloods
If
and the
not
Crips.
more.
They
and-
worse.
You know what I'm
sometimes,
saying?
Yeah,
But
don't
see,
play
this-
no games.
okay, then
Chill.
that would be a note to self not to run one of them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was my point because hold up.
Good point. I can't argue
Hit the
that.
brakes.
All right, Stryker said that ish was crazy at Flyboy. He said them cats on the bikes be wildin'. But
Completely.
I don't really agree. I didn't get to the second part because he said more, but I just saw that part and it like made me stop. I don't think so because he's saying they be wildin', but if you was on your bike or even you was with your family on bikes, say if you was just a bunch of your family out on an outing on a bike, somebody run on them over, you're gonna stop.
That's true.
To
And
check
you're
on them,
gonna
and then you're gonna
walk
want to know
over?
what's going on.
Exactly.
It might be a problem. I've seen that happen by my house. It was a funeral, and a guy in a car, he was drunk coming down. He hit one of the cars. They beat him half to death. They beat him half to death. He crashed into more cars and tore his car up more. They dragged him out of the car, was beating him up. And the cops had to come. It was a whole big thing out in front of my house. And it was a family. It wasn't bikers and a gang. It was a
And
family
you know what?
mourning the loss of their loved one.
I'm gonna agree with you because
So-
God rest the dead. Many years ago, locally here in Plainfield, something like that happened to a well-known dude
Yeah, on a bike.
on a motorcycle, and his crew
Shit, I know exactly what you're
got
talking
up and they did fight and beat the person up. But
Reginald
that was,
Denny.
now in that case, that was an accident because the guy actually had to come. And this is partially why you should not park near corners. People, hello, because the cars that are coming out, they have to see around you.
Corner.
And if they come out far enough, this gentleman was riding down a road fast, high speed at the time, and he hit the hood of the car. He went flying over, and he died.
Wow.
And his boys then proceeded to get out and beat up the guy. But the problem was that really wasn't legitimate
his
fault.
fault.
This
Wasn't
guy,
his fault.
what you're talking about, Sav, literally
him
just
over.
ran
He
someone over.
This
was behind a motorcycle.
his,
Yeah.
Oh, the event outside my house? The
No,
guy.
no,
we not
we
talking
talking
about
about-
your house.
I understand what you're talking about, but the incident I was talking about, when they were approaching the guy, he ran over like 2 or 3 more people. Like a woman. He ran over a woman that had nothing to do with
That's
it.
crazy.
And some other, they were involved like in the motorcade, but they weren't involved in like pursuing him. It was a young
see.
guy and an older gentleman because he crashed into the car door. Imagine you're at your mother's funeral, you're following the hearse, and a guy just comes out and crashes into the side of one of the cars in a procession.
Yeah,
So,
that's crazy.
yeah.
See, this is the
And
whole
he
thing, though.
proceeded to keep going
I
and hit
would
the car.
have gave the Asian guy a benefit of the doubt if he had called, or the benefit of the doubt if he had at least called the police. Not only did he not
Try
call
to
the police,
ride off.
but he could have pulled to the side. Even if they had him boxed in like they did, you don't completely run over somebody. He could have pulled to the side when it first occurred, but he didn't do that. If you hit somebody in your car, you have to stop and pull over, or you lose your license.
Now let me be foul here because I'm always the bad guy, but and I don't mind that. I play the bad guy pretty good. I enjoy doing it, but I'm gonna be fair. Let's go back to the first time he bumped into the bike, Sav. The very first time he knocked the guy down. Now, come on, where are my road rage people at? Because you know some of y'all done it. I've seen people do this, where you get mad at somebody because they may be riding you a little bit, and you
So you
slow
slow
up,
down.
Yeah.
and you slow up.
So they hit you.
What
That's the
happened
problem.
if that dude slowed up by mistake and boom, he got hit, and maybe the Asian dude hit him? Because in that scene you showed me, it did look like he was braking as if to be a wise ass. I'm just
Okay, so let's say he was.
It's a bike. It's a motorcycle, not a car.
But
Well,
you could have went
now-
around him.
But then the dude from the bike, listen, I'm not dogging out nobody out there. I'm just
You gonna get these
sides.
MC? You don't want to mess with the MC. Man, the MC crew. Listen, I'm from the
I'm
car
look,
club.
outside. What's that?
MC
What's that
crew.
noise? Outside, you know.
You got bad boys outside, the Cowboys.
But here's the thing. Listen, the dude on the bike, if he was doing that, I haven't read nothing indicating that he was.
Okay.
He should have had the sense not to go against
Now
the car
here's my
doing that.
thing. I've had that done. You've probably had that done. You stop.
Yeah. you stop.
Unfortunately, you're on the road with a lot of people that are going to do a lot of things.
Very
you
true.
don't
Road
take it
rage.
into
Correct,
your
correct.
head
Right.
to say,
run 'em over.
let me just
Knock 'em
pummel
off
you
the- yeah.
because
run
you
'em
made
off
a
the
bad
road.
decision. People do make bad decisions all the time.
Cuss him out and stop.
This is the whole thing, though. Chill. Before he was breaking down and slowing down, there was the incident that occurred was he tapped one of the bikes. I was reading the story from different. He tapped one of the bikes, but he kept going, and that's when they sped up and slowed down, and that's why he was braking to stop to bring him to a stop. and that the time when
trying
you
to
see
get
him
away.
slowing down, he's trying to get away from the initial hit.
I see.
So he just kept making matters worse. So
Yeah.
he was just off the hook. Period.
All right.
Like his whole driving situation is just terrible.
Stryker says you have to watch the video before all that stuff happened. They were trying to stop traffic so they could do stunts on the highway, and Range Rover dude wasn't trying to hear that.
You know what? Now
So they were
listen.
trying to block traffic so they could do
Okay.
tricks
You know
in the
what?
street
And I can
so
feel
everybody
that.
Could watch it
I
and
can
record it.
feel-
Hey,
and all
now
that.
we getting down to the nitty gritty
Okay.
here.
That's not nitty gritty. That could be as ignorant as it wants to be. Guess what you got? A shoulder. Go around.
But-
you don't start running people over.
I understand it's reckless on
Somebody has
the
a point.
owner of the car. That is reckless to hit somebody and run over. That's illegal. Your car, that could be
You
vehicular.
paralyze somebody.
He could go for vehicular
Manslaughter.
homicide or manslaughter. I
That's when
understand that.
New York. We need to talk about New York because they didn't even charge the guy.
But
Not
here's the
even.
thing.
Yeah, the NYPD.
We'll jump into that. But come on, let's be fair. Officially by the law,
Of course, they were our
if
color.
somebody all of a sudden if I'm driving and all of a sudden you trying to illegally, by the way, perform wheelies, you're not supposed to be doing that on your bike.
No,
So, are you
you're not
gonna do that
supposed to
too?
jaywalk either.
Now I wouldn't. I would have made it right.
You see 400 people on bikes. I don't care if you're the toughest person in the world.
You gonna
I
hit
don't
one of
care.
them?
You're not going to even try to interfere with it. You'll wait. You could be
Yeah,
late for. You could be late to come to the show.
And let me
You're
tell
not
you,
going to.
you gonna be mad. You gonna be like, "Ooh, y'all wrong for this. Y'all hold me up."
Yup.
You gonna
Yeah.
talk about it, but
Oh,
you ain't
I
gonna
was,
hit
just,
one.
I was just talking about
Right.
that to one of my friends. I said, "Oh, y'all females are so funny when you listen to them because when y'all driving, y'all always got road rage."
And you know
Cussing
what?
out the person in
It's
front of you
not
or around
even
you.
that the bikers were of color. They could have been white. I'm still with
No, it
tap
makes
one.
We were talking about the color part because of the
No,
NYPD didn't,
I understand
didn't
that.
charge
All
them.
I'm saying is that period.
Charge
though,
the
you
guy.
don't hit a biker.
Regardless.
Nobody says bike groups are loving. Well, do they do charity work? Like
do, sometimes.
who is like?
Some do.
Yeah,
Some do.
a lot of
I
them
mean,
do.
Shout out to the
Okay,
bad
but
boys
they
in there.
also put it down. Like they're
Wow.
not the kind of people that you would take the chance with to
Yeah,
hit
that's
one
fair.
Oh yeah.
If they're crazy enough to get on a bike and do stunts, you don't want to mess with them.
and hold up the whole. Let the police deal with
And
that.
what road was that? Was that the West Side Highway? It had to be. It was a
one of the
highway.
think
It was
so.
definitely
It
highways.
was
Wow.
One of
Oh
them.
wow, that's a busy. Yeah, that, I wouldn't even. You got to have some balls to even try that.
But call the
To-
police.
to slow the-
Be like,
to stop the
excuse me,
whole-
officer. I'm being held up
I'm
right
gonna-
now in
I-
traffic.
Now
Here's
let's go ahead. Go ahead. Frank.
Here's something even more shocking that you might not have read on, and I read on just recently. Do you know that there was an undercover police officer in the motorcade?
Now I heard that, and that was my next
In the
thing.
motorcycle.
Yeah,
motorcade?
he was in the
motorcycle.
motorcycle club. He watched
Now-
it. He stood
Wait,
there and
did
watched while they
they
beat the
know
man up.
that he was undercover?
Nope.
Or-
Sure they didn't. He didn't want to blow his
I don't
cover.
under-
Well, see, most of the time when you're undercover in those motorcycle clubs, and I know this from watching my little
Anarchy.
Anarchy.
and all
You
that.
can't say anything.
They're
saw a
trying.
movie like that,
They're
221
actually
Jumps.
trying because, like I said, let's keep it real. Not all motorcycle clubs, Smooth Pig. I know you out there, and I know you in the biker club. You too cool, Keith. I know all y'all. Not all clubs are like that, but there are some clubs that perform illegal activity. There's a lot of drug dealing in them. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. So sometimes they infiltrate that with someone from the police undercover to try to bust them. Now that's a good question. What did that cop do? Did he get involved in the melee, or he just sat
The
back?
cop was a friend of the of the motorcycle people. There was a friend, but he was undercover, but he was still a friend of them. And
So
all
he
he did
wasn't-
was
So was he infiltrating the motorcycle gang, or was he just the undercover
they
cop
didn't-
who just
I don't
happened
think
to
he
be
was
riding
infil-
around with his boys?
Yeah, I don't think he was going into infiltrating the motorcycle game, but I do believe that they put him on desk duty because of the fact that he didn't act. But
Interesting.
even though you're undercover, it's stated in a law that as a police officer, when you see something, I forgot what it's called, like that, basically like somebody's life being endangered, you're supposed to step in no matter what you're currently doing.
Even if you got to blow your cover.
Even if
Yeah.
you got to blow your cover.
He
makes
should have
sense.
gave a
That's
ticket to
You
the
can't
guy
allow
driving.
You can't allow somebody to be killed or it be a party or there's someone dying and not get
He
involved.
wasn't a party to it.
He was a he.
His friend got killed. He should have gave the ticket. That's what he should have did.
Oh, you said the guy. Oh,
he
so
should've
hold on.
been arrested.
So the guy died. That was on the
You know
bike.
what? I'm mad at you for this ticket thing.
I
you got
don't
on.
think he died.
I'm very upset at
He
you. about
didn't
this
die.
ticket.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say he died. I
Sapphire
thought he
was
just
like,
hit him.
hold on, let me put these two in your head. But first, let me write you out a ticket. first.
For real. Because the one guy is permanently
That's dead.
paralyzed.
That's
Oh wow.
So he could have at least done some kind of arrest or something. Pull him to the side. When he tapped the first one, let me tap you out. You got to pull over.
Now, I'm going to pose this question to everybody here tonight. And I want you to be honest. Don't lie. And we'll start with Fresh. We'll go work our way down. if you were in that car and you made the mistake and you hit somebody, say you hit somebody on a bike.
Mistake?
They fell.
Oh, okay. The first one.
All right. Let's say you didn't know that you harmed them, but let's say hypothetically that biker is coming to your window at that moment. You're in the caravan. There's about 10 to 15 bikers.
Mm-hmm.
One's coming to your window. What are you gonna do in that situation? Honestly,
in his situation, I'm going to pull over and beg for forgiveness because of the fact that not because I'm a punk or something, but because of the fact that I have my wife and my son in the car.
that's a good point. All right.
There's nothing I'm going to do to make that situation any more hostile than it already is because I hit the biker.
Kirk Flirt, what you gonna do, brother?
I joke a lot. Like, you get out the way, I'll run you over and keep it moving. But I wouldn't. If
Now,
in reality,
listen, you don't know how bad you hurt the guy.
Oh, no,
so let's say you pulled
I'ma pull
over.
over
Let's
to
say
see
you
what's
did
going on.
pull
Yeah,
over.
I'ma see what's going
But even as you pulled over, you notice 3 of them is coming to you, kind of like you see them coming.
It's about to be a
what
problem.
you about to do? What are you gonna do? I'm
gonna reach under the seat and see what's going on. Hold on, brother. I'm undercover.
Your phone.
It was an accident. Wait, look. I'm gonna reach for the phone clip, some kind of clip. They don't need to know that. I'm gonna
So you're gonna be prepared to do.
I'm
what
gonna
you
be
gotta
like,
do.
listen, if we have a problem, you never know what's gonna go down, so you might have to be prepared to, I don't know,
right.
might have to get away from the car to get them away from your family at least. You know what I'm saying?
Soups. Honestly,
Phrase the question for me one more time.
you bump into one of the bikers. They fall.
Mm-hmm.
You do pull over. You don't really realize how bad that dude is that you hurt, but you pull to the side. As you pull to the side, about 3 or 4 other bikers are coming at you. Yo, what the hell? And they're coming towards your car. What are you doing?
I'm gonna hit the gas and navigate around them.
That's an honest answer.
You know what?
I respect that.
You know what though?
You gonna keep it moving.
The smart thing I think to do, because I've had a situation similar, not like that, but it was
Kirk, I'm mad at you, man. You got a situation for every.
I do.
Go ahead.
For
One
somebody
time
who don't
it
drive,
wasn't
it's
similar.
amazing.
It wasn't similar exactly to that, but I would have pulled over, and once you noticed that they were coming, I'd have got on the phone, I would have called the police automatically when I'm pulling over. Like, I think I hit someone, but now I would have been like, I'm kind of fearful for my life right now because they were with a group of men. It's about 80 of them, and some of them are coming towards me, so I'm going to go around the block. I would let the police know that I'm trying to get out of harm's way, but I'm in the area, and when you get there, I'll be there because I had a situation similar, and we did something at a gas station. They gave us too much gas. They said, we're going to call the cops. We left, called the police station, went there, let them know what happened, and we were fine. Once you got to think smart, but sometimes when you're panicking, it's not that easy.
So everybody has to understand his wife and son was in the car.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now,
So let me
go ahead, Susan.
continue
I want to
to
get
wrap.
Sapphire's too, but go ahead.
Get Sapphires and come back to me. I'm gonna talk about the wife in the car.
Okay. Now, Sav, what are you doing? You bumped into the car, or bumped into the biker. He fell, whatever. You're pulling over. You're pulling over, acknowledging that you did that. But the other bikers, 4 of them, are coming towards your car, yelling, cussing. What are you going to do?
I'm putting on a performance of a lifetime. I'm coming with tears. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm originally from Ohio. I had no idea that I hit him. Is he okay? Please. Please tell me he's okay. Oh my gosh, and he's so handsome. I can't believe that I hit him. Oh my gosh. You know what? Let's do an exchange, okay? Because I've got some insurance.
You are something
It's
else.
progressive. I'm telling you, it'll cover. Let's look at the bike. Is the bike okay?
Let's get her out of here. Yeah. And don't
And the
forget,
Academy Award goes to...
Yeah. Honestly, and I'll say this quick and then I'll go to Seuss. Me, I would have done what Seuss would have did. I'd have pulled off.
With your family in the car?
Like, yo, with them in the car, everything, yo. We'd have been on a high-speed chase. They'd have been chasing me. I would have tried to do something to draw the attention until I saw a police officer. Because I would have said, listen, I don't know. Because first of all, keep in mind what I said.
And they might have
you
weapons.
don't know the status of that person. I didn't run him over, but you knew he fell. And to see them dudes, sometimes I think Kirk just said it. Or maybe you said it, Fresh.
They might have...
Dudes with emotions sometimes is bananas. So I just would have to drive wild until I saw a cop. And then Sapphire. I just said, officer, can you give them a ticket, please? Okay, go
That man
ahead,
needs a ticket.
Go ahead, Soups.
That man.
Well, we all kept saying, why didn't they call? Why didn't they call the police? This is how quick things happen. The 911 call started at 1:52 p.m. when Lean's wife told police that there was a large group of motorcycles driving recklessly. In a second call at 1:53, she reported that their car was being hit by the bikers. She said she was in the car with her husband and 2-year-old daughter. At 1:55, Lean himself called and gave police his current location. This is near where the door was pulled open. At 2 p.m., the wife told 911 the windows were being smashed and her husband was being assaulted.
Well, so is that like?
Oh, but why didn't he tell?
1:52 to 2.
My question is, why didn't he tell the police that he ran over a biker?
8 minutes.
Well, I guess at that point he was worried about his life.
But there's
Yeah, because when she made those
there
phone
is nowhere.
calls,
There
that
is
was
nowhere.
way after the fact because the video had been recording for at least 7 to 8 minutes.
Exactly. There's no way
beforehand.
No way.
So she didn't call when the first biker got tapped. Nobody
So
called.
she didn't call when they was running people over. She called when they were retaliating. They was like,
nobody
what's going
called
on?
when the other person got paralyzed.
And I just want to say it was courtesy of CBS News.
Okay. Yeah. See, this whole thing, that right there was something awful, like Sapphire said, because in the actual video, at 3 minutes is when he ran over the biker. The video didn't end till like 6 minutes and some change. So that's a 3-minute interval right there.
I couldn't watch that video.
Oh, you I
can't watch that.
Sad.
You've seen worse, I'm sure.
Oh no, not me. Can't do it.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm
honestly,
a sissy.
Like I'm from a car club. The Brick City GM, shout out to High Rollers, and we roll with Bad Boys, the car club at the time. But I've seen accidents. I've seen people hit T-bone a biker and stuff like that. But when you run over a biker, it's like, and you running over their body, there's no protection. You're putting all the force of that car on top of that biker. So right then, you know forget paralyzed. You're gonna die.
And this dude is definitely paralyzed. And our condolences go out to him. Not to belittle this. We're talking about it seriously and what happened and giving our viewpoints and opinion. Our prayers actually go out to that because we pray that you can regain status and walk one day. But that's a tough spot to be in. It is. And that's what leads to the whole thing about emotion, what we was just talking about. Because right now as a country, man, we are emotional. We just catch flame for everything. And what I'm noticing is it's not only sad or whatever. It's anger. Everybody is so damn angry.
Are you about to talk about Miriam Carey?
No, but you can. What is about Miriam Carey? Let's talk about it.
Who?
Which I think is a conspiracy, but I'll get into my conspiracy in a minute. Miriam Carey's
the lady
postpartum induced White House crash.
Yeah.
So supposedly, she used her car to run into the White House lawn, because she was going through postpartum depression after having her daughter. Obviously, she was shot at. She was killed. I still haven't figured out exactly what happened to her 1-year-old daughter who was in the car.
Oh, wow.
When all this happened. Now, her former boss is saying she was hot-tempered and she had an attitude that had gone awry. But then there was another boss who said who had her for 8 years. She had just started working at this place recently. The boss she had for 8 years before that said that he never could have saw that happen. Her sister said the same thing, but her mom was like, yeah, she had been going crazy. So there's like some contradiction going on with the stories. Also, she was from Connecticut. So they saying that her postpartum depression led her to pack up her 1-year-old and drive down to D.C. onto the White House lawn.
She's from Connecticut, and she
My
drove
thing is,
from
don't
Connecticut
they
to DC.
She
they
drove
have,
from Connecticut to D.C. She said the president supposedly was stalking her, and they found several medications for schizophrenia and other mental disorders.
She sounds crazy.
But I'm gonna tell you why this is a conspiracy. But go ahead.
Go ahead first.
I don't want to see. Even with that, like once again, back on emotion. How does the effect, the reaction, justify the force use? Like, how did running into? She didn't run into like a cop car. She didn't run into like a person. She ran on a lawn, hit the gate, right?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you why.
With nobody possible, nothing that can cause death or bodily harm, but yet they use excessive force.
I'll tell you why. Now I'm gonna be fair here.
Could have been a bomb.
Dealing with the president, and I'm just saying, there was a movie that just was out.
White House down.
White House.
White House.
White House
There was
Down.
2 of them.
Oh, I know which one you're
The
talking
other
about.
one.
Fall of Olympus.
The Olympus has
Olympus.
fallen.
Okay.
Now
that-
that
I got
movie,
that.
there's directly a scene where somebody crashed through the gates of the
Yeah,
White House,
with the tank.
and
Or
what
with the dump
what
truck.
they have to do, and unfortunately, a friend of mine he's not in the military, but he works for the government. Shout out to Old Navy. Things like that, they're taught. There's people all over there that you don't even know got guns.
They
People
ain't
you think
trying to
is a
kick
bum, and they're not. I hate to say it because if you're a threat to the president or anything in that
Vicinity,
immediate
it's
vicinity,
over.
it's a wrap. And I feel bad, but if she's light on that, and let's just say hypothetically, if they didn't pull out and shoot her or anything like that, then think about what a terrorist might do with a bomb.
Yeah, people would have seen that and they would have been like, "Oh, so we could just ride up on that."
And that's the way it is.
Oh,
I
okay.
hate that, and it's sad.
Yeah.
I
I used to live out there because the Capitol is actually in the White House is in the worst part of DC. Like the gate is around it for more than one reason.
Now, do y'all feel? I mean, do you disagree?
No, I agree. I understand exactly what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's
Because it would make a lot of things worse
It's
if they wouldn't have
understandable.
done what they did. But it's
That's
just tragedy.
crazy.
It's a tragedy.
They had a license really to just kill her, and they
Yeah.
used excessive force. They could have shot out her tires.
Yeah.
They could have
They could have.
gassed her.
did
You know,
something.
they were so close up on that car at one point that they could see into the vehicle.
Oh, you see the pictures?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
So that I think that. I mean, you don't racial profile. Well, of course they do, but
Was she Afro American?
Yeah, she was. That's part of my conspiracy
Stop
theory.
it. Go
And-
ahead. Let me hear
Oh,
this
go ahead.
conspiracy theory.
Now just think about just think about some things that have taken place in the past 2 years.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago, what was my man's name?
Trayvon? No, not Trayvon.
Aaron Alexis just shot up the naval base.
Shout my hoodie.
Yeah.
I was a hoodie for Trayvon.
He was supposed to be
I'm turning
mentally ill as well,
Okay.
and that he
Oh, yeah, something's
just
wrong with him.
went crazy
Smooth P got P.
and started shooting up the place after he had shot his gun before in the floor of an apartment that he had.
Okay.
And supposedly he had all kinds of mental health issues. Do you remember Christopher Dorner?
1 second. You mean Darden? Is his name? It wasn't
No,
Darden?
I don't remember him.
Is the
No.
guy on the train? Is that the guy on
That
the train?
was the guy who was in California,
Yes, he was black.
who went on the rampage. Thank you.
On the train,
Oh,
Who
right?
yeah.
went on the
I remember that.
rampage and started shooting
White
up
folks on the train.
LAPD
Oh.
Because he was mad at the LAPD.
Yeah, I remember
because
that.
he was supposed to be mad at the LAPD.
Okay.
Now let me take
Sapphire.
let me take you back to the bath salt.
Dun, dun, dun.
She said the bath salts.
Do you remember the man in Miami who was eating the face?
He was eating face.
The black guy. Yes.
Black guy.
Why they gotta be black? What's going on? It's a conspiracy.
No, stop it.
Wait.
The Walking Dead. Kind of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he
Go
was
ahead.
on bath salts. Now remember, these bath salts only came out that week. They went strong for that week.
Bath
Now, let me tell you what
salts?
else happened that week that he ate the face off of somebody and the police shot at him. He growled and they had to take him out. Later on that week, a woman eats her baby, cooks the baby in the microwave and eats the baby.
And where was that at?
She was black.
Oh wow.
Another guy eats
So
his
we-
roommate. He was black. He ate his roommate in college. He had his body parts in some Tupperware. He was black. Remember the guy in New York?
Are these
This
people
was
all in
the
different
same
locations?
week. This was
It's
the
a little
same week.
scary that you know all
Yeah.
these details.
Yeah,
Go
'cause
ahead.
you're a little
Because
weird.
I'm a nerd.
How many people you done ate?
I mean, I try to stay jazzy, but I'm still a nerd. Okay, so then also that same week,
World
there
War
was
Z.
that guy that was in New York who was throwing his intestines at the police while they were trying to taser him. And I'm like, how is that even possible?
What color was he, said?
Of course, he was black. All these people were black. Now, let me ask you.
What black
Let
people
me
you know
ask
that
you.
eating people?
All of these random crazy black people, right? And that bath salt incident happened 1 week strong, and then you ain't hear nothing else about bath salts. So all I'm saying is that if you think it's just a coincidence, since my brother
A
got
coincidence.
reelected for the second time into the White House, that all these black people just keep going crazy, you're wrong.
This,
I'm
it's not,
just saying.
I don't.
Hold on. What is the bath
I'm going
salt
on
thing you
the
keep
toilet.
talking
But
about?
you
Is
lost
it?
me on that end.
Yeah, the bath salts
No.
thing. I'm losing.
The bath salts was supposed
somebody
to be the
eating?
drug
Yeah,
that
he took-
made the man eat the face off of the other
Oh,
people.
so the people were getting high off the bath
They
salt.
were trying to say
Popping
these
mollies.
bath salts were making these people that entire week eat other people.
Oh, so it's like a Molly. It's a drug. They do
But
it eating
you
it.
never heard anything else about the bath salts before that week or after?
Oh, so they just slid it under the rug.
Now,
and then the guy talking about the ELF or
I'm
whatever.
gonna give you my theory.
Wasn't it ELF? He said.
Come with your theory. Have some
In the
Here's
name
factual
of
my
action.
theory right here.
Have some factual action.
I'm white, and I can talk about this.
How you doing, Bob?
First things first. That's why white folks move away from black people.
That's crazy.
Because they're crazy. You cannot eat other people, number one. And there's no relation
They've
to
been eating people since the beginning of
black
time.
folks.
That's why-
A lie
That's
was about
why-
white folks.
That's why we are trying to go to the moon, because we're going to establish our own colony on the moon. I said it right now, and leave y'all down
That
here.
is
He like,
true.
hey Bob, hey Bob,
That's actually true.
Bob and Claire.
As you
Jane,
guys are looking,
Dick.
if you notice to all our viewers out there, that's why I'm off air. I'm not associated with those 4 black people that y'all see on the screen here, because
See,
I am white.
This is a
Oh,
product.
this is foul. You're exposing me.
That remind me of Dave Chappelle. Remember he was in a coupe. White power. He was blind and couldn't
Oh,
see.
I'm sorry. This is actually chill.
Yes.
That guy was cute. Who is that? Chill. You looking a
She
little
want a
sexy
date.
on
She
your
want
day
a
off.
date now. Ain't that some stuff?
Wow,
You know what,
thank
though?
you.
For the most
How
part,
about
though.
this guy?
Okay, not so much.
Oh, yeah. For the most
Not so
part,
much.
for the most part, I agree with Sapphire until the point where she said black folks are going crazy. I think it's black folks are getting more white because white people been eating
More
people
white.
for long. You remember Marilyn Manson?
Do you remember the movie Alive?
I mean, white
Jeffrey
people,
Dahmer?
the stuff that they got black folks doing now, white people have been doing
Let me
this for
tell you.
generations.
It's
The
the
sad
drug. They're
part is
drugging
that
us.
y'all can't see how
drugging
deep
us.
this conspiracy go. Listen, if you remember the Tuskegee experiment,
Well,
Yes.
when they were giving the men
uh-huh.
syphilis and did not tell them,
Damn.
if you don't think that maybe these brothers could have been slipped a little something,
Something.
that they
She is
could
so
have been
funny.
given a little something, that this woman Miriam could have been hijacked in her own home, then you are sleeping on the situation at hand.
So you think they might have gave her some salts on the
I,
side?
I think they giving people a little something because people
Yeah.
didn't start losing their mind
their
until he
vaccinations and
got
all kinds of-
re-elected.
Yep.
And then he started talking about this Obamacare, and then all of a sudden
Yeah, 'cause
black
they signed
people
it in
just losing their
2010.
minds.
They signed it in 2010.
They
So when
signed
did he
it,
start?
but they had been fighting it for years after
Yeah,
that.
it's
But
been-
it had been upheld in court officially again and again
Yeah,
and again.
the
So
Supreme
since
Court.
his second re-election, I'm saying they just got Negroes losing their mind all over the
So,
country.
so when?
I don't believe
what,
it.
what are the years? What is the time frame that these things like? When did it start? These
It's been
these
happening
weird
in the past
occurrences.
2 years. He got reelected about 2 years ago, and ever since then, Negroes just been going crazy. And I'm saying in a way that we had never supposedly been going crazy before. I'm not
So they
taking
signed
it.
Obamacare in
So-
about 2010, and since 2011, people have been eating people. Black folks been eating people.
Eating them, shooting up the place, going, running into
Yeah.
stuff. Come
So
on
wait
now.
a minute.
And the guy did say that they did something. He said the government did something to him, and they didn't have to kill him.
Stop it.
They could
You
have
gotta
shot him
They snuck
and
something
stopped
in the
him so you could
Popeyes.
find out.
If you think they not
Black
listening,
people eat chicken. They know that.
I'm telling you.
that chicken from
Now they said they tapping into the phone. Wasn't that always a conspiracy theory in the
Stop
hood?
Yeah.
Didn't in the hood?
But it
Didn't they
was.
always say they was
tapping into
tapping the
everything.
phone?
They email, the
Tapping
phone.
phones 'cause
They do.
black
If you
people-
watch my video, they
drug
talk about the
dealing.
chip.
But listen what I'm saying. Didn't we always say that in the hood?
Yeah.
White people, the only people surprised by the fact that the government
Oh my
is
God, they're
tapping on
listening
the
to our
phone. 'Cause we knew
conversations?
that already. We was saying
Mhm.
that back in the
Workers.
80s.
Listen.
The phone clicked. They must be listening again.
Got my phone
That was
tapped.
something
That's
we
because
said
they
all
used
the
to them
time.
criminal enterprises where their phone
Everybody-
always getting tapped.
Everybody in the chat room,
I'm-
call in to or write in the chat right now. Do you believe Sapphire's
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I do.
Conspiracy.
I'm down with
I
her.
think she's
I'm a-
on this.
High five here. High five.
Now listen, if I come up missing,
Yeah.
y'all better let
Oh.
people know.
Listen,
to
I'm
hold
a
on to the
I'm
truth.
a GPS you, girl. I'm
We
a
never
GPS
knew
you.
her.
Can you show my picture again,
Hey,
Sue?
sold me out quick.
Matter of fact, we should type chill underneath that.
Listen, let me
That other
tell
one,
you,
that other
one.
had you been coming looking like that there, this would have been a different
I'm gonna-
conversation.
I'm going to tell y'all the real.
Look, and watch.
Type chill underneath
I put
that.
cream
like
in my
that.
coffee.
That wasn't just cream. You like a little coffee in your milk.
a little coffee in her milk.
I'll dab a little chocolate in my milk.
Listen, I'm going to tell y'all the real
Yeah.
reason.
Okay,
I'm,
go ahead.
I'm going to tell y'all the real reason they won the second term for the black president. They said this guy been here so long, he gonna start giving out free shit. You know, black people like getting free stuff. You know, black people like getting free
trying
stuff.
to get free healthcare. I don't know. They don't want to hear that.
They calling him
Now,
the
we need
food
to
They
talk
call him
about
the food stamp president.
Seriously, we need to talk about that. Let's make sure we talk about that.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just thought about that.
The theory behind this, and let's talk about the government shutdown. Let's go ahead and talk about that briefly because that's what's been going down. And by the way, it's considered a partial shutdown. Let's not forget that.
Non-essential.
Doesn't mean they kind of covering that up, but they don't want you to go crazy about it. And I spoke with a friend of mine who, by the way, this is official. My friend is up, old retired Navy. What's up? He said that they have been promised back pay.
Yeah, I got that.
For the period.
Once
Yes, they
once
have.
the shutdown is over, they're
Yes.
gonna pay the federal workers what they owe.
Furlough.
They're gonna pay like they weigh.
They done that before.
Now,
They did that last
exactly.
time during
Now,
the
listen,
shutdown.
part of me kind of.
That don't make sense though. What was the point of the?
I think now you talk. I don't want to say conspiracy, but part of me is sort of like I do believe in a theory that they put things out there to kind of put a little fear in the people.
Not just that though.
You know
Hold
what I
on,
mean?
I
Go
got
ahead,
a
go
whole
ahead.
bunch of. Oh my god, I got so many different theories.
Go ahead.
And they're backed by other people. But one thing, if you notice, a friend of mine posted on Facebook a screenshot. All the stocks are going up. As the government shut down, all stocks are rising. Everything's in the plus. Nothing's in the negative. If you check the stocks, check the stock quotes, and the NASDAQ and all, everything is plus. It's all going up.
Which is surprising, seeing as how they just announced that India, China, and another large country are using their own form of currency now.
Oh, wow.
Which means
I'm gonna play phone tap while you
that
talk.
once people start trading with their own money and not in dollars, the
Dollar
dollar
down.
It's going to drop
it was
again.
already dropping.
Yeah, we dropping already. I already knew
It's
that.
been dropping for years,
It's gonna be
but
like toilet paper soon.
this is
we gonna
gonna
walk
get
on it.
real, son.
We about to walk on that. We gonna walk on that.
You know what the
It's gonna
crazy
get
thing
They
is?
trying to
though?
get us to be down with the European Union and get them euros.
No, it's gonna happen? What happened to Britain? Like how Britain is paying $8 for
$8.
gas and everything's mad expensive.
Yeah, that pound, their money's like
that was-
$2.50.
That would eventually happen
A
to
pound.
us unless we too merge with a few other countries, like
Yeah.
say Mexico
Put some things together.
Yeah.
and Canada.
Here's
And
the
the Mexicans
ironic.
don't really
here's
like
the
us.
ironic
Fresh,
thing.
In
though.
Canada, they got free health care.
Go ahead, Fresh.
The ironic thing is this: the people who shut the government down, they still getting paid.
Yeah, that's
Of course,
Yeah,
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 of course they are.
Still
That's
getting
true.
paid.
They're getting big.
Because I
bucks.
said that on one of my. I was being sarcastic, but at the same token, I was being serious. And I said, if you stop those checks from I think it's the Senate,
Yeah.
Congress.
the House,
Yeah.
and the President, I believe.
Don't stop it.
What did Lil Wayne say? He said
Stop
the
the
money.
checks.
Well, they're saying that they're essential.
Wait, yeah,
Stop
they're
it.
essential
Yeah,
personnel.
This is saying.
But
Well,
what
They're
if,
one
putting them on
guy-
the same level as national security.
The Pentagon is actually bringing back at least 90% of the estimated 350,000 defense civilian employees who were furloughed. in
Lil
the
Wayne
partial
said the money is the motive.
shutdown.
So the money got something to do, a lot to do with it.
So
It-
let's talk about it. Let's break this down. Let's be serious. Let's jump into this right
All
now.
right, I
Everybody
threw a
in
little-
chat. If you got opinions, put it in the chat, or you can call in. Our call-in number 646
233
13.
02.
All right. So we want to hear your opinions and everything about the partial government shutdown.
Yeah,
All right,
partial,
go ahead,
except for them.
Kurt.
All right,
Wow.
I put a little something together for this topic. I entitled it "The Shutdown: Our Government's Betrayal in the War on the Constituents."
How you
Now
spell
this-
that? No, I'm just playing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
CONSTITUENTS.
As he reads it off the paper.
I put it on the paper, so I'm entitled. Anyway, this government of ours always brags and boasts about how they are for the people, pretending to be so pro-constituent,
True.
like they're just for us. Like, what is that old saying? It says, "Of the people, for the people, by the people." So what are they doing to the very people that they supposedly care so much about? Now, don't get it confused. It's not the entire government that has us as constituents and tax-paying, law-abiding citizens under fire, but one particular party, the
Wait.
Republican Party.
Is he about to read that
So
whole
now,
thing?
as
Yeah,
we
no.
say this,
Read that
now
whole
let's
paper?
let's talk about it a little bit. Because basically what's going on is and everybody's putting the blame on the Republican Party because they're not agreeing with Obama and a lot of the Democrats.
No, it's like they started the whole thing, and even some of the Republicans are saying like, I'm not even getting involved in this nonsense. He said one of the gentlemen, I don't recall, I didn't get his name quoted, but He said it's like burning a house down to get rid of rats and termites. It's equivalent to the shutting out of the government to deal with the Obamacare issue is like burning the house down to get rid of the mice and rats.
It's not going to deal with it because it's already set.
Yeah, it's
in the
already
Constitution.
it's already in motion. So they're just.
And it's not all the Republicans. It's about 30 of them.
Yeah.
But because they're
Enough
the Tea
that-
Party
enough-
Republicans, if the other Republicans don't go with it, then they may not get funding for their when
they're
they run
split.
later
Their
on.
future.
So they have
endeavors.
they have to kind of go along with what a few are doing, even though it does seem like basically
Go ahead,
they're
Sue.
cutting off their nose to spite their
Go ahead,
face.
Sue.
And they went against their leader, Boehner.
Yeah, they're with the other guy, Cruz. They're Cruz. That's what they asked. I had the
Well,
video.
I heard about Cruz. Cruz is definitely going to be.
I have a video that I sent that you should have, and then the correspondent, NBC correspondent, asked Joe Barton, was a Texas Republican, and he's part of the Tea Party. He was proud. He said, "I is one, so to speak." I'm like, so they're proud to be like, I guess, the redneck kind of party or whatever.
Well, listen,
Of course.
Strike,
yeah.
Hold on, read that. Go ahead, Fresh.
Striker in the room said something that makes a little bit of sense. He said the Republicans are mad. The Republicans are mad at Obama and getting the Obamacare passed, and they're just doing stuff. Work, slow down. Oh, it's a union move. That's the whole thing they're doing.
Okay.
He said we forgot that white folks invented the game. White folks meaning Republicans, because not all white folks are white.
I'm a white Democrat, by the way.
Not all Republicans are white, is what he meant.
I mean, but we forget that the white folks, Republicans, invented the game, so they know how to use the game. In other words,
Well, and let me just say,
uh-oh.
I mean, shut up. There is a point to that, but this is what Republicans do. They pull a lot of stall tactics to get what they want. They're like the bullies. And then they usually end up punking the Democrats. The Democrats finally just were like, we're not giving in. But what really probably pissed them off is that they shut down the system. And when I say they, I mean Americans. It was over 2 million people who looked into Obamacare and shut the system down. They couldn't even handle all of the inquiries on the website. So I think that part of them found a little angst in the fact that people really do want this Obamacare, because that's one of the main things that stood their party up. It gave their party foundation. The Tea Party, that is. Not the entire Republican Party, but the Tea Party had based themselves on going against Obama.
And let's be fair, the Tea Party is basically, let's just call it what it is. The anti-Obama. They formed.
Everything.
It's
That
just
was one
about
of the
Obama.
theories.
Since Obama's
Everything-
been president, they have come to the forefront. They wasn't around when Bush was here. They wasn't around when Reagan was here. This was with Obama.
But they
so
did
let's
shut
call
it
it for
down
what
for
it is.
Clinton.
And the guy Joe
Now-
Barton sounds just like Bush,
Let me say this.
more uneducated.
Is it fair to just say, and let's be honest, and what you're saying makes a lot of sense, Saf, and I definitely agree with it. It's a lot of, we got to cover our ass, excuse my language, but we need to cover our ass and make sure that somehow we can stop this, because if all the American people
they find out.
love it, then
Wait,
we're wrong.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I just think sometimes, too, it's about being bullheaded, and that's what I concern myself with. Like, I just learned to vote. I'm keeping it real, y'all.
Wow.
Soups will tell you. I just voted for the first time. Was that last year?
Yes.
Oh, for
Last
the
year.
re-election?
First time.
I'm not
My
clapping.
life. I didn't believe.
Good job, but I ain't clapping for it.
I didn't
Well,
believe,
voting,
and
I
I'm gonna
mean,
keep it real with
going
you.
in-
Voting is
Using
a
your
conspiracy.
constitutional-
I could get into
Well,
that
I'm
too.
gonna tell you why. And actually,
No,
I
it
don't-
is. It is a whole
you don't
thing, because
vote?
the electoral
I
college,
don't
you don't
believe
really.
it.
Anyway.
See,
Another
you
conversation.
the same person I was, and I'm gonna tell you straight up. Things like what's going on now makes me say, "What the hell did my vote count for?" Now I'm just saying, I don't want to get into the argument of that, of whether voting is right or wrong. Oh, people died so you can vote. But
Yeah,
the
but
bottom
Bush
line,
stole 2 elections, so that
Yeah,
is
so the
all
vote,
of
whatever,
what the
yeah.
people went
She
through,
sound
being
just like me,
hosed
Soups.
by water, we being eaten by German shepherds,
Or each other.
so that they could have a dream. It was based on a dream. We got sold a dream, but shouldn't we know
Yeah.
by now that they've been
Republicans-
selling us a dream for?
We were
100
sold
years?
into the party.
here's
if
my
we
thing,
want
and
to
I
get
just
into
want
all
you to
that.
question. This is the question
Democratic
I
Party
want
bought
addressed
our
Is
vote.
it? Be honest. Is it just stubborn men that we
They
put in
playing
these
games
positions
with our future.
That's what
They playing
Pow,
God with our
Kurt.
future.
Do you
They-
feel that way? Is
Yeah.
it fair for me to
If
feel
you
that
watch
way?
the videos, like I'm telling you, if you watch the video and the man is talking, he said he just is cool. He said you don't really care about these numbers, do you? Because you're in a district where you're a very conservative district in Texas, where either way, he said this can go on for 4 or 5 weeks and it won't affect your political position any, will it? And he said,
Wow.
no, I'm not really saying that, but I'm worried about. He started talking about something completely different.
I
The
believe
debt
that.
ceiling, because that had nothing to do with what they were talking about.
But
But
why would they care if they're eating good?
This is the whole thing. The Republicans, like Sapphire said, are stalling. If they can stall out long enough for Obama's this term right here to be over, the next president ain't going to fight for
That's
it.
a good question. All right, look, honest opinion for everybody on the panel. Let's go beyond Obama's last term and start with you fresh, and then we'll come down. You think the next president going to be Republican or Democrat?
Oh, it's going to be Democrat.
Kurt.
after this, it's definitely gonna be Democrat. But
Soups,
I agree.
and
It's going to be
Saf.
Hillary.
yeah, probably.
Ooh, I like that.
Or
one.
Chelsea. Well, no, she's gonna run
Now,
later.
I know we got because it's Cruz. Cruz is a Republican, ain't he?
Yeah, Cruz is a Republican.
They
But
push
what,
it for him.
what I was gonna, I wanted to piggyback off what you were saying about they didn't want that the Republicans don't want the American people to realize that they actually like Obamacare. That's the whole issue, because if they do, it's going to be a lot worse than people think, because it's gonna destabilize their entire party and all their constituents, because all this time they have been selling their people the idea that small government is the way, or less government is the way. So if Obamacare is passed and it shows that more government or bigger government or a little more government control would assist or help to stabilize the country and the budget and everything like that, they're done. Like, it's over.
I agree.
They're gonna question, like, their constituents are gonna question the entire party and their entire way of thinking and anything they've ever done. So they all might be out of office. Plus, it might not
But
even
there are
really be
those
too
that
much of a
believe
Republican
that
Party left.
Even the Democrats are. It's kind of crazy the way it is.
They're split now.
It's
They're fighting with each other.
it's almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Not right wing. It's just right now. Even if you're a Democrat, sometimes the Democrats don't even seem like they want to go toward Obama. That's my point. We got all these powerful men that we
There's
put in
favorites.
office.
They clicked
And
up.
even if they go in thinking one way, if you got 20 other people that can coerce or
Exactly.
veto your power to your idea that
Doesn't
might be
matter.
great, where does
Yeah.
it get us? It's
Hey,
like we're running on a treadmill
Chill.
in the same place.
So this,
They
this,
clicked
this,
up. You got to
this
get with the
issue.
winning click. That's how the Tea Party is getting it.
This is why everybody's splitting. The whole world doesn't understand, but it's true. It was never about black or white. It was never about Republican or Democrat. It was always about rich and poor.
I totally agree.
Now the
Yeah.
reason why it's
Totally
splitting up
agree.
is because there's poor people and there's rich people. When I say poor, I mean if you ain't rich, you poor. So we middle class,
The
but we still
opposite,
poor.
yeah.
But there's poor people on the Democratic Party, and there's rich people on the Democratic Party. So when the Democratic Party splits, it's because the rich folks are like, wait a minute, these poor people
Yeah,
get money. We not gonna have that.
exactly.
Do
And
you mean the Democrat or the Republican Party?
No, he's
I'm
talking about the
talking
Democratic Party. There's
It's
some people who are
on the
Democrats.
Republican Party too.
The
Yeah.
Republican
Well, not
Party.
too many poor people on
it's
the
not that many-
Republican
Too
Party.
many poor people.
Excuse me. Let me do a quick check for you fellas. Most of the people who vote Republican are country white people.
And those are most of the
They're
people who
from-
are going to benefit from Obamacare.
Okay, but my point is this. When you're talking Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, when you're talking Montana, Utah, you're talking
Utah.
white people who are not making a lot of money on average, and they are voting Republican.
They're being
Let me
lied
tell you
to by
why.
their party.
Now, yeah, this is why they're voting Republican though, because they don't see what I just mentioned.
Exactly.
They see
I know.
white and black, and they see
Exactly.
Republican is for white.
Well,
White
they
white
also
people.
do religion because Republicans tend to talk a lot about
Yeah,
religion
exactly.
and good old values.
And
I know why they voted. I'm just
white
telling
is
you
right.
that
Oh, yeah.
it's
And the white
poor
is right.
people in both of them, and
Yeah.
it's rich people in both of them. So
No, I didn't say it wasn't poor and
Yeah,
rich in
just-
both, but
Distracted by the
I'm
color.
just saying it's a little more.
I do. I'm
But I
riding
feel
with
what you're
Fresh
saying.
in that I definitely believe that it will always be racial prejudices. We know that. But I
Yeah.
definitely believe in this new millennium, it is getting closer and further away from the color prejudices going into the financial prejudices. I definitely believe
Well-
the haves and the have-nots is happening.
To a degree, but it's still going to come back to color because the black race is, at many levels in this country is hated, and they're going to pursue other races, other minorities to pull ahead of us. And the Republicans are going to be making a concerted effort to go after
Latino.
the,
Oh yeah, they trying to
How
get,
Hispanic
ironic is
vote.
that?
and they stole their land.
And let's think about this. Remember a couple of years ago, Soups, at that time we were doing this live. Remember the whole big hoopla about I think it was Arizona where they was crossing over and,
Texas is Mexico.
and they was talking about, oh, we got to stop this. And
Yeah.
But you notice you really don't hear
Yeah,
that
no
that
more.
much.
That's
Now
because
let-
now they're not trying to stop. They're trying to get them to
Immigration.
merge with
Let-
them and
Well,
be a
see,
part of.
The reason why Obama got elected and reelected is not because all black people voted for him,
Right.
and it's not because all black and white people voted for him. It's because
And the Latino.
60 to 70% of Latino votes voted for Obama.
Yeah.
There's more Latinos than black folks in here. We're now
Yeah.
the minority.
They're the minority. They're the majority.
Go ahead, Sam.
Part of the reason that you also aren't going to hear about it is
Spit it out.
I'm spitting.
Take your time. Don't make me eat your
If
face.
you make as the dollar grows weaker, other larger companies are merging into making their own money. If you build up the Mexican economy, because Canada's economy is already strong enough,
Yeah, they good on their
when
own.
you bring it to the American people, because Bush said this before, the people are going
Somebody
to
told him.
ask for another currency. So the dollar is slowly weakening over years and years.
That's the plan.
Other countries are merging into their own money. If you build up Mexico, get with Canada, then you can have a North American
So what you're
currency,
saying, we're going
and
to
it'll
have
be
one,
built
and I've
straight.
heard this
Like NAFTA?
conspiracy theory too, which is also a lot of people believe this.
I don't know if it's a
We're going
conspiracy.
to
We're
merge.
going to
Well,
need it.
I tell
Yeah.
you why they say that. They're going to try to merge to under one currency.
Yeah.
Period.
Who?
Eventually,
You talking about the whole world? Yeah.
Well,
exactly. Oh yeah.
that's
I heard
eventually.
that.
But
I
listen,
definitely.
listen.
I saw research and
Think
paperwork.
about that.
It's
What
hard.
we're
Back that
talking,
up.
but think about what we're just now talking about. Let's keep it real. If it's one currency around the whole world, that's even more to think that it's always going to be a rich
and poor
versus the
thing.
poor. And I don't give a damn who you are, whether you a poor Ethiopian, you a poor dude living in Illinois, you a poor Mexican down in Mexico. If they can classify you as being poor altogether, you ain't got this universal dollar. And I've heard that conspiracy theory happen, and more I'm thinking about it with what you're saying, Sav.
Well, if you look at what's going on with our money, that's something very tangible and real. That's one of the reasons why the whole immigration thing, I think, has kind of taken to
totally agree.
to the back burner, especially lately. You haven't really heard much about it. And they talk about how Mexico has a booming economy. How right now they've got tech jobs. They've got industrial jobs.
Really?
They've got Mexico on and populating.
I thought Mexico was very infiltrated with drug trafficking.
I
and
did
Near
too.
the
Drug
border.
cartels
Hey,
and all that
dude,
stuff.
Near the border.
It is infiltrated with drug trafficking, but
Near
that's
the
part-
border, that is
That's
true.
part of their economy.
That's part of the economy in
That-
America.
A lot
But
of
you know what's
their imports,
interesting
their
is
beans and
almost
the
like
cocoa
how they
beans and
talk
stuff.
about
Yeah.
African American communities. Like when you see it on television and news, we all hood.
Yeah, but
They
in
don't
real life,
talk
in
about
reality, they
what's
get money.
really
Yeah.
some other beneficial parts that are going on in Mexico. So there actually are books coming out and articles being written on the economy that's booming right now in Mexico.
So where do you think where do you think this thing is going to go? Obviously, this government
Wait,
partial. I like to say
that is
Where do you think
so
we're going with
funny. I could tell you that the Republican Party doesn't know where it's going to go because in my research, I was researching all for the past
he is
couple
just
days.
so hyped about this paper, Lord.
No,
Just say-
no.
Hey, it's college
say it.
students.
No, that had nothing to do. Look, I'm gonna show you right here. That had nothing to do
Because
with the paper.
I've been
Look,
researching.
Listen, when I was in college, it was the same way.
see this right here? That has
Is
nothing to do with the paper.
Is that what it is? Because he is so
Look,
excited
you see this?
Shh, one at a time. one
about
at a
his
time.
research.
Okay, go ahead.
That
Go
has
ahead.
nothing to do with the
Yay,
paper.
you did
Yeah.
research. Yay. Where is a cookie?
Why is she mad at somebody other than her did research?
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
mad you
Go
so
ahead.
happy because you
Because I
probably
did more.
did so.
You
Go
mad
ahead,
because I
Kurt.
did more research than
Go
you.
ahead, Kurt.
It's all right.
Kurt, tell us what you're going to say.
It's
Kurt.
all right. I give you a hug later.
Go ahead,
Kurt, what you
Kurt.
saying?
But like I was saying, as I was saying before, I was so rudely
As my
hated on and interrupted. I need my hater blockers now. Hold on. Let me get right.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway.
As
Go ahead,
my
put them on.
research.
Put the hater blockers on. I
She
like
is
that.
so
the hater
funny.
blockers. I like
Yeah.
that.
Can I still read with the hater? Yeah, I can.
Read all your research.
Wait.
Go
With
ahead.
your paper over there.
No. I actually gave. I don't know if you had if he has the video, if he was able to get to the link or whatever. But I have a
Where's that?
video
Talk
of
about
a MSNBC correspondent was debating. I emailed it to you.
You didn't
Go
get
ahead.
Jim?
Will you go ahead?
I emailed it to you. But anyway.
Oh, man,
Go ahead.
An African American MSNBC correspondent was debating about Obamacare with a gentleman by the name of Joe Barton, who's a part of the Republican Tea Party, and he was the congressman in Texas. And before they actually started their debate, they played a snippet of a question that was asked to a gentleman in the Tea Party, and no, actually, Joe Barton made a statement. He said that he doesn't think that there's any wall. Yeah, terrible. These little gestures. Y'all are
Look, you
Just
guys
read the paper.
Wait, no. I'm laughing because y'all are terrible, yo. Y'all might not have caught that, but anyway.
Our audience doesn't know because I have the picture up of the video that you wanted to show.
Oh, okay, you have it.
They don't see.
Oh, she has it up. Okay, I'm sorry.
They don't
about
see
that.
what's going on behind the
All right,
scenes.
my bad.
And I hope y'all
That's
say
none of their
something good
concern.
about this video.
But okay, Joe Barton made a state. They asked him a question about them being separated because right now, since the government's been shut down, the Republican Party is like a line drawn in the sand between Bonner and it's like his faction, and then Devin Nunes, who's the actual Senator Ted Cruz, and he's like spearheading their movement or whatever, I guess, as far as the Tea Party is concerned, and he's consulting with the Republican Party on basically what their movement is and what they should do. And his statement was that he doesn't think that there's any wall in the House between Devin, which he's referring to Devin Nunes, who's the Republican from California, and me. He said we're on the same side. They're on the same side because they don't like Obamacare, they don't like excessive government, and they don't like excessive spending. He says if Obamacare is so great, why do we make it mandatory? Let's make it voluntary. He says Republicans happen to support many of the things in it. But actually, that's not true. They don't accept a lot of the things that are in it. He's just trying to pick out what they say, make a piecemeal legislation in order to debate or to negotiate with Obama to get him to repeal or to change the policies that are in Obamacare. So
Kurt, give us the
Summary.
the point. Like,
so hot. Let me take this number off. I had my Trayvon hoodie because they Trayvoning us right now. They Trayvoning the whole country.
what happened?
Where's the
Where did we
summary?
go?
Is there an outline with some bullet points?
It is so
Bring
hot.
us to a point.
Basically,
I didn't read all my research.
No, y'all are so
Wait a minute.
funny. No,
Okay,
y'all are so
all right,
funny.
let me ask you a couple
No.
questions.
Yeah. What do you want to say?
Okay, so about Obamacare, what are the points that you wanted to hit in reference to Obamacare?
Hold on.
Why he said hold on? www.healthcare.gov. That's where you get the Obamacare information. www.healthcare.gov. I typed it in the chat room if you're there.
Thank you, Fresh.
Keith, let me ask you.
So hot.
Ouch!
In your opinion, why do you think that the Republicans are hating on Obamacare?
Well, it's not really a hating on Obamacare. They just don't want change. Republicans don't want change. They figure if the Americans see the change with Obamacare, then they will see how wrong the Republicans have been for the last 40 years they've been in office.
They've been around for a lot longer.
No,
But
in
I
office.
will say that you do have a good point, and that I think it's also about money. I mean, at the end of the day, when you keep things privatized,
Oh, yes,
you
is.
earn a lot more money.
Mm-hmm.
So by electricity, heat, gas, by everything being privatized, there's somebody who can earn
Yeah.
a lot more money
That's a good point.
all at once than having it spread out.
So you mean having a monopoly? Is that what you're
Not-
talking about? Or when you say privatized?
Privatized in a way that
Stock
there's going to
market.
be a president, there's going to be a vice president. Those people are going to make the big numbers, the executives, the lobbyists who are vying for it in Congress. They're going to make a lot of money.
Not even
If you spread healthcare out, then those people are having money taken out of their pockets. Those and lobbyists really keep Congress going. So once you start taking money from the lobbyists, then that's taking money from the Congress, and they making out like fat rats. Kerry is trying to get us to go to war. Okay, you know, he was all on the Syrian. We got to go over there. He was beating the drum machines. Kerry is getting a bunch of money from the government defense packs. the people that go in like Halliburton and stuff like that. They're contributing money to him. So of course he wants a war. Same thing with the Republicans and the Congress.
No, you're right.
We don't want broad-based health care because lobbyists are coming in here and putting this money in our pockets. You taking money out of our pockets.
Mm-hmm.
That was paying for my child's extra tuition on the side, that illegal baby that I had with the mistress. And now you going to take that money from my pocket, and I don't want it. So.
I was talking to somebody before I came here, and they were saying about the health care. There's no money in the cure. There's only money in the treatment. Mm-hmm. So by Obamacare and Obama making this bill to reform health care and make it affordable for everybody, it's taking money out of the pockets of, like she said, the lobbyists and the private businesses who are lining the pockets of the government agencies through these, what do you call these agencies? I can't think of the word for it, but they give them monies, and they say it's going towards their campaign and the PACs.
About the PACs, right?
Exactly. So they're telling them, like, what are you doing? Don't let them do this, because if the people like Chill said, that was my point too, as far as them not wanting the government to push Obamacare through because they don't want the American people to actually like it. They're terrified that the American people will like it. That's another reason why they like it and they go for it. It's going to reform the government.
Is that the insurance companies actually get more money once it's spread out into Obamacare, because they will get more people into their insurance plans. So it kind of falls in everybody. Itself.
It's projected that it'll help the government and it'll help to balance out the budget. So why wouldn't they want it? Because they're going to lose money.
It ain't going to help balance.
Hey, Arturo, you got something to say?
No, it's going to help. Right, it's not going to completely, but it's going to help.
I do have something here that Kirk Flirt did pull up, and
you know,
I do happen to have it.
You know more than the strategist. I'm sorry.
We were talking about Bill Maher. Or Bill Maher.
Bill Maher. He was talking about how people were.
That New Yorkers know nothing about Obamacare. So this is an interesting little skit. Let's just listen to it, all right?
Okay.
You're live in the vocal booth, BKS1 Radio. Let's listen. After this commercial break, I'm sorry.
Obamacare.
Here we
My
go.
friend Alexander Pelosi went around New York City this week to demonstrate just how hard it is to keep Americans informed. Take a look.
It's the first day you can enroll for Obamacare. What do you think about the Affordable Care Act?
I think it's affordable.
Do you know anything? Tell me the truth. Do you know anything?
Not really. Nobody really knows what it is because it's named after him. They're not going to like it.
The worst thing about Obamacare is the first name, Obama. Why did he name it after himself?
No, I think the Fox News named it after him.
Obamacare, I think he's a stupid motherfucker.
What are you hearing?
I'm hearing that they're trying to take $80 a week out of people's check.
Like Muslims are exempt from Obamacare.
All the illegal aliens are going to get health care.
You really think that?
Well, that's what they say. I don't know.
Fox News says that there's going to be death panels to decide who lives and dies.
The death panels are basically you're going to get to a certain age and the insurance is going to get to a point where it's just not going to cover you and you're going to be left on your own.
Obamacare for me is that medical chip that they're going to put in. It's a chip. It's about this big. They implant it in your skin, inside your skin. And when you go to doctors, you're going to scan it like a credit card.
It's so Big Brother can keep an eye on you at all times.
Wait, you genuinely believe that the United States government is going to put a chip in your arm?
They want to. That's what I've heard.
You're sitting here in the center of the media universe, and you're telling me Obamacare is going to put a chip in your body?
I don't know how you don't know about it, but it's in the news.
What do you know about Obamacare?
All right, so we just clipping this one short just to go to show that a lot of people don't. I'm sorry, just turn 7 and 8. The second one. All right. Now that being said,
second.
1 2 1 2.
Testing.
There we go. So with that being said,
it obviously proves that a lot of people don't really even know what the hell Obamacare really is. If they walk through the streets of New York randomly doing it, so
I have no idea. New York is one of the biggest.
What is it? What exactly is it? Now I've heard a lot of rumors, and I'll be honest, I've read on a hair. The thing that interests me is, and let's clarify this right now. Who pays for it?
The government through taxes and us.
Yeah, it's a shared expense. So they take out money if you need it. You don't have to take it, because if you have private insurance, Medicaid or Medicare, you can keep those.
See, the theory that's messing everything up is that people believe that Obamacare is free, and it's really not free. It's like low income health insurance. If you get a certain amount of income, they base the health insurance on what you can make. But I believe Arturo, our other family member, has something to say.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like y'all said, it is definitely a discounted rate, but yet and still not everybody, has pockets that leak out money like that. You can say, $200 a month, $300 a month, but there's somebody who's saying, I can't even afford that. So, believe me, there's families out there who...
Well, I think what's interesting about that, though,
not to mention, if you take another reason why people don't like Obamacare,
because it's called Obamacare.
Pretty much.
The nickname. You heard the guy, he said, that's stupid.
Take the Obama part out of it.
And they'll vote for it.
It's actually called the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, or PPACA, and it's commonly called the Affordable Care Act, which is ACA or Obamacare. It was dubbed Obamacare by one of these networks or something. It was dubbed that by someone else.
Probably some Republicans.
Put a whole
they made it Obamacare so they wouldn't want the public, or when they deface Obama's name or defile it, they can attach that to it.
Perfect setup right there.
Yeah.
Put a whole lot of technical, scientific dictionary words in front of the word, in front of care, and it'll blow.
Yeah. Exactly.
You mentioned that people can't afford the monthly premiums. Well, some people wouldn't be able to.
Not everybody, no. We're under this assumption that we're all, $1 million ballers or whatever. You know what I mean?
Because I'm not sure how much they would take out if they're basing it on your income. I'm still not sure what percentage it is.
Well, I mean,
but here's part of my question or just statement period, is that if you're uninsured and you go to the hospital, they're going to bust you over the head anyway. Oof. And then you could possibly go into bankruptcy, which is happening to a lot of Americans.
Right.
There's a lot of hospitals in urban areas that are closing because there's so many people who don't have insurance to cover the bills.
Exactly.
So I guess what I'm thinking is, what would the alternative be?
It's all about that almighty dollar either way. It's all about that dollar.
Well, let me ask you, who has some facts for us? Exactly.
Do you want the broader, what exactly Obamacare is? Do you want to get
why don't we just spit out some?
All right, I'm going to give you what I got from courtesy of ask.com. All right. It says the patient protection and
affordable. You may want to put the "c" in there. I'm just saying.
Arturo, get your mind out the gutter, man. It ain't your turn yet. The late night Leon Lonnie Love Show.
We're like ask.com.
You just promoted a porn site.
Y'all terrible, man. Y'all terrible.
Y'all be running the ask.
First, when I looked, that's what. Excuse me. When I was running down the research, that's what made me go to the wrong research, because he was spanking. Anyway, we ain't gonna get into that, but their mind is somewhere else right now. All right,
our mind is on what you said. Ask.com.
Remember Obamacare?
Maybe I still had the image of you.
So you've been replaced.
Riding that thing, right?
Unbelievable. Go ahead.
All right, let me get the hater blockers out the way.
I'm
just not gonna look this way.
Boom, boom. All right,
the hater's strong. The hater's strong in this area.
Break it down for us.
The Patient Protection and Affordable Cares Act, which is commonly known as Affordable Cares Act or Obamacare, is a United States federal statute signed into law by President Barack Obama on March 23, 2010. Together with the Health Care and Education Reconciliation Act, it represents the most significant regulatory overhaul of the country's health care system since the passage of Medicare and Medicaid in 1965. The ACA aims to increase the quality and affordability of health insurance, lower the uninsured rate by expanding public and private insurance coverage, and reduce the cost of health care for individuals and the government. It provides a number of mechanisms, including mandates, subsidies, and insurance exchanges to increase coverage and affordability.
Okay. So we need to break that down.
Can I throw one in there just to sum it up? It includes provisions that stop insurance companies from dropping you when you're sick or if you make a mistake on your application. It prevents against gender discrimination. It stops insurance companies from making unjustified rate hikes. and it does away with lifetime and annual limits, and also requires that all insurers cover people with pre-existing conditions.
That's why they don't
rate
want
heights.
it.
That was the next line.
That's why they don't want it. And also,
rate height, not rake height.
Get past it. I'm so over you. Like, don't do it.
Hate. The hate is strong with that one.
Don't ask.
The
don't
force
ask.
is strong with that one.
Don't ask.
Stay from the dark side, Sapphire.
With your I went to ask.com and let me read this paragraph about what it just told me.
Okay.
Go ahead. Which side are you on?
So going back to Obamacare.
Let's go.
You're on Google. Stop it.
Let's.
Keys.
Listen.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, based on the 2013 review, 16.3% of Americans don't have health care. 16.3. That's like 49 million people.
It's a lot of people.
Now, it can't get no worse. So for the Republicans not to even try, even attempt to try, even after it's passed to be constitutional and everything over and over, for them not to even try makes it, based on what I said in the top, when we discussed in the topic, an emotional issue. It's an emotion that's causing them not to want to, like Arturo said, maybe because it's called Obama, they call it Obamacare, but it's something emotional because 16.3 people in America don't have insurance.
Is that, and I just want to bring this up, the whole Obamacare thing, is that just sarcasm?
Well, what Obama said, yes, they mean it as a diss, but he said it's fine that they call it Obamacare because Obama does care. and
did he really say that?
He flipped it on him.
Absolutely. Yes, he said it when he was running.
When you
see, that's why we ain't voting for him. You know?
Terrible.
Don't act like that.
Is there any like medical insurance named after anybody specifically? I mean, educate me because I don't
think so.
think
From
so.
what I've seen
Maybe
so
any
far,
other?
It just takes away some of the private insurance ability to
As any other
reject
president
people.
Okay.
So
that's
Humana,
that's not what he's asking. He's asking is
no. I said no. Like they've got Aetna, Humana, Cigna.
Here's my thing.
They're using those.
If I'm a hardworking man, I got a few questions.
Humana. You never heard of Humana?
No, and I'm sure.
All right, we don't know Humana. Y'all cutting chill off.
I got a few questions. A few questions here. Hardworking man.
Just because he's Caucasian, it's all right. Let him ask his question.
You're working hard. What does that?
We don't own
what
bikes.
does it benefit me
I can speak
to join Obamacare, or should I be against it?
I can speak from actual experience. I work for FedEx. Obamacare is kind of hurting me because now the other insurances, the people that we give us insurance, FedEx, they're like, well, you can get Obamacare now, so we're going to take you off of our insurance and we're going to change everything up. But see, most people, we don't really care that much because we still have insurance, and it's 16.3 million. Percent of Americans don't. So we're willing to do that. But for the actual worker, it changes up their insurance plan.
Wait a minute. Can you pull up the rates? What is it costing Obamacare?
Because I'm gonna say this too. There are people, and I know we all know people like this. When you're working, there are some people that don't take benefits because too much comes out of their check.
Well, this is supposed to be based on. This is supposed to be based on your income, and you're supposed to be up to 400% in the poverty line. This is really
under the poverty line.
Leave me alone.
I'm asking. I didn't know what you were saying.
I don't know, but whatever.
Terrible.
At the
It's
end
not
of the
whatever it
day, it's like basically for people who wouldn't be able to get insurance. So, like, if you're not being offered through your job and you need insurance, then it's supposed to be based off of your income. And what this is saying, it looks like, is that because a large amount of people are young that don't have insurance, it would actually benefit the country in the long run if they had it now, because then later on they would have less health issues. That would be a financial burden on the system.
Well, we spend a lot of money on taking care of people that don't have insurance. The money's going to get spent anyway. Okay, one way or the other, we're going to spend the money. It is better to spend money preventively than to treat later. So, I mean, that's a very valid point. We know that.
Oh, this says 8%.
So spend money in the
preventive
medicine
you cannot,
rather than the treatment.
You cannot predict health.
Well, no, you still treat it. You still have to treat it. But I'm saying,
I understand what you mean.
So if you help people be preventive now,
and actually go to a doctor.
But I understand it, but it's still, to me, the premise is ridiculous, because I don't care how much you try to prevent cancer. If it's going to come when you 60, it's coming.
But
Ain't nothing you can do about
you could catch
and
it
then
a
you
lot
still gonna,
sooner.
That's not true.
But
but if you live a certain way and eat a certain way and you deal
you cannot guarantee you will not
Chill.
be
You
ill.
can't guarantee,
It's just
bro.
like anything. If I'm driving my car,
That's just
I
like
can't-
me not smoking.
Wait, listen. Stop cutting off. Relax. Listen, as you're driving your car and you're around, it could break down anytime. We maintenance it, we get oil changes all the time. That's money's out of our pocket as well. When it finally goes, when the engine or when the transmission goes 6 years after I've been putting oil in it all the time, I'm still going to have to pay a big amount. So what's the difference with what he's saying at the insurance?
The difference is, for one, I totally lost my thought. Oh wait. Okay. So there is a difference. Think about this. If we eat terribly, we drink, we drug, we're gonna have bad health.
Exactly.
Okay. If you put things in place now to control your health, you're going to avoid certain things. Like if you control your weight, you're not going to be looking at certain things like heart disease, diabetes, all those issues, high blood pressure. You're going to avoid those things. So the focus is on preventive, but you still have to treat people that are sick. So you're not giving up one to do the other. But in the long term, you're going to save millions of dollars because people won't get to that point because we did things to prevent it. Look at the kids now, biggest obesity rate we've ever had.
Understood.
Not only that, now I'm not quite sure when this part came into play, but how it affected me with Obamacare is it allowed me to keep my children on my insurance after 18.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Now we're talking. Okay.
And also,
go ahead,
it
Sam.
says that you wouldn't pay more than 8% of your annual income. Or
So you won't pay more than 8?
You will not. Of your
yearly
income. Or 9.5% of family income if insurance is obtained through an employer.
All right.
So what it's saying basically is, obviously you're not going to pay all at once, but it's saying you'll pay no more than 8%
Per year.
per year of your annual income.
So let me just say an example. I'm just using numbers. If I made $30,000 a year, I'm gonna be paying $2,800 for the year.
Well, I'm reading the thing right here.
Somewhere in
It says
that.
the
Right.
bronze package costs between $4,500 and $5,800 a year, and that was in 2010. The bronze package for Obamacare.
How much was that? Say that again.
$4,500 to $5,000 a year in 2010.
And what
or
they-
2016 before. It will cost.
So it's expected to cost that much in 2016.
Right.
So
But
bottom
that
line,
depends
I
on how
got
much
you.
you make.
I got you. It depends on how much you make. So if I make, the more you make,
The more it's going to
the
cost.
more it'll cost you.
That's fair.
But one of the because it says young, healthy Americans and those paying well above 400% of the federal poverty line are probably going to pay more.
Can you repeat that?
It says young, healthy Americans and those making well above 400% of the federal poverty line are probably going to pay more, while many others are projected to pay significantly
The
less.
people in the Republican Party are going to pay more.
That's
the rich people are going to pay
What's the poverty
more.
line? Can somebody just look up what the poverty line is?
And I was
makes
just
sense.
about to say too, they make me put car insurance on my car. I don't know if anything will happen. I don't know if I'll get into an accident or a tree will fall on it.
There's
but they
ways to get
make
around that, too.
But they make me have it. So
Yeah.
I'm saying if I have to have insurance for a car,
Insurance for your life. What's
why
wrong
would
with-
my
yeah.
life or my child not be in the same category?
Well, here's the thing. With insurance, and I don't want to go into that, but to me personally, I always feel as you need rewards. Chris Rock made a joke about this one time.
In case
you need rewards. So in other words, if you don't have an accident, if you're a good driver, you should be rewarded some of that money you've been paying back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and I don't know
Nothing
if
happens.
that would
Should I get
never
my money
happen
back?
with healthcare because let's be honest, y'all, these pharmaceutical companies, medicines,
Getting that money
cost a lot of money.
there's money in the medicine. Not in the treatment, not the cure.
Just to read what she said, the poverty line in 2013.
That's what this is all about.
The poverty line in 2013 is $35,000 for a family of 4. $35,000
For a family of 4. How are you supposed to feed a family of 4 with $35,000?
Well, you could do it in Ohio.
Now wait a minute. All right, see now I got a whole. Stop it.
She's terrible in the PJs.
So people making about 140,000 would pay, more for insurance.
Of course.
That's now we got
35,000 times
thank you for
4.
clearing that
Okay.
up, Kirk, and
140,
everybody. And Sav, now I understand why the
Republicans
rich people, which is always the case, even with taxes.
Everything. Yeah, they want us to be taxed, and we the ones without the money.
Exactly, and it's obvious to me. Common sense.
Makes
You make
money.
more money, more shit coming out to check.
Hey, Archer, you got something to say?
Naturally.
That's a modern day Robin Hood story right there.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty much
and they knocking this man for
purposely targeting.
They want to tar and
people
feather him
who
for it.
don't have it. I mean, if any doctor can say, no disrespect to anybody, but if they can actually judge somebody who doesn't make the requirements, like, oh, you can't even afford that, then forget about you. You're worth nothing then.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
seriously,
they won't let you anymore.
Honestly judge a family or somebody that doesn't have it like that?
And it actually is going to reform and expand Medicaid to over 15 million of the nation's poorest.
Oh, I had my neighbor and her friend were asking me, what about Social Security and my Medicaid? My Medicare, like they worrying about their stuff. They want to know.
No, that's not touched.
Yeah,
it'll actually expand it. It'll make it more accessible.
My check is coming the 16th. I want to know what's going on.
Now I know what all the hooplas are. It's definitely, as
money.
Me and Fresh was saying, it's
money.
about the dollar.
It's always, come on.
And the special interest group's money, and the doctor's money, and the insurance company's money, and the business owner's money.
Either Sapphire or Kurt said something like, it's about the privatizing of companies because they're losing money. Or
That was
something like
Sapphire
that.
on that one.
The companies that are being privatized are all owned by the Republicans. That's
I
the whole
didn't
thing.
say that.
No, I'm saying
about the privatizing the businesses. That's what it was about. I was
thinking I said that the Republicans
Continue, Fresh.
tried to
no. The basically, you're directly taking by Obamacare is directly taking money out of the Republicans Party. So it's not even if it's not about being rich and poor to other people. It's a direct influence because Obamacare is adding health care that everybody can get. If you don't need to go to a separate private party to get health care, whoever the private party is not going to make no money. The people that own those private parties are in the Republican Party.
Yeah, interesting. The PACs.
And if you
special
go,
interests.
and I'm trying to let me see what website
Getting
I'm
that
on.
money.
It's called Obamacare Facts: Dispelling the Myths. If you really look at this website and go over some of the things that it says, it's a lot of information, and it's
a lot
really mind-boggling the amount of issues that they're trying to sum up, like it prevents insurance companies from limiting the number of benefits a customer can receive during their lifetime, that they can go outside of their plan's network without a referral. I see why the insurance company's mad, because this is disrupting their whole situation. Yeah. And that is why the Republicans are jumping on board, because when it comes to, like you just said, Fresh, I said earlier, when it comes to private insurance,
You forgot you said.
it's about I did.
Because the hate is
It's
strong
about that money.
with this one.
It's about that money. So you're messing with their money because they were able to cut off some things before.
Yep.
This is not going to let insurance companies turn you
Cut
away
corners.
if you are sick. This is not going to let them say, if you got a pre-existing condition, we will not take you.
Yeah, they have to
Everybody's
accept
going to
everybody.
And that's something they wouldn't do before. Let you come in there talking about,
The
well,
bum
I
on
had
the
this
corner is
cough.
going to have insurance if he gets a
And
couple
goodbye.
hours to put in.
You're done.
I
If
just
he can
hope
kick in.
I just really hope that black people don't do to this where they do to everything else. It's hot for about like 2 weeks and then they forget about it. It's trending for about a month.
That's not black people. That's people.
Well, no, but
did you just see
America.
the Bill Maher's video? People don't even know what the heck Obamacare is, and it directly affects everybody. I had a woman tell me the other day that I know personally. She said, "How does it affect you?"
Let me read this
She said, "How does it affect you? Has it affected you? It didn't affect me." And I'm like, seriously? You need to be watching the show because it definitely directly affected you.
It says it reduces the cost of premiums to millions of families and small businesses and provides billions of dollars in tax relief, the largest middle class tax cut in healthcare history.
Yeah, and they ain't trying to hear that.
That's why they mad.
Is it possible for you to run a little of that other video before we cut out?
It's all about emotions, to break it down, because
it's all about that
it's
dollar.
all about
that money,
emotions.
Exactly.
That money in there,
yeah,
money
and pride and that money. They clicked up.
Well,
they want their team to win.
It's been a great night.
Very steamy.
Everything's been phenomenal. You guys, we did well. We tried to break it down for you and see why people are so angry.
Fresh thing.
Who's in chat? Who was in chat tonight? Let's get a shout out to the people in
chat.
We were going in hard, so we
Striker.
We didn't get to acknowledge
Alyssa just came in. Shout out to all the chat people, all the people in the chat.
We didn't forget about y'all. We were just trying to get y'all informed.
I seen y'all chatting, sticking to topics. It's good.
Hey there, chat people. Oh, they're recalling Sienna minivans, by the way. Don't buy one.
What happened? They recall.
Oh, wow.
Where did that come from?
I got one.
Said I got one.
Do you?
Oh, wow.
Seriously?
That's the one with the doors that open automatically. One of the ones. Anyway, I don't know.
All right, tune in every Saturday night.
Yep.
11 to 1 or 10 to 1.
10 to 1. Yes.
Actually, 10:30.
I thought it was 10:30 too.
Oh, I always tell everybody 10 to 1. I post 10 to 1. So they're ready. They're waiting.
Be here at 10 so you get a spot on the radio in the chat.
So we are live in the vocal booth, and we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. It's been a great night, and once again, as we always say, it's never about us. It's always about you, because you are the next best kept secret.
Booyah.
Hey.
Stay tuned
Later.
for your best friend on the mic.
Yay.
The
Oh,
hate.
and everybody
Let me get
wish
the hater blockers.
Fricker Fresh a happy vacation next week. He's
Freaky
going to,
Fresh. Is it Freaky
he's
Fresh?
going to Mexico.
or
Tell us how it's down there. in Mexico.
I'm just hoping they let me back because you know it's crazy over there right now.
They
but-
about to kidnap him and take his social security card. I'm going to be the Mexican name Fresh next
All right,
week.
y'all. Good night, man.
Give us a quick song.
Fresh going to
Chill.
be Mexican.
I want to hear
Arturo
Kraftwerk. What happened to that?
Oh, wait. Can we play the OJ's? Striker said he wants to hear OJ.
I want to
It's all
watch
about
my
the money.
video.
That's a good one.
All right, it's all
I'm
about
going to post my other video on my Facebook page.
Is it too late to ask Sapphire to marry me?
She said you got to
It's never
gain
too
about
late.
You
50
be
more
better off
pounds.
being rich and liking Obamacare.
You better off being at a tea party with an Obamacare shirt on.
Ouch.
Dang.
And a bullseye on your back.
Your wish is my command, y'all. All right, y'all.
I want to hear a sign under. That's right.
Woo!
I hope so.